Hi, I'm Kelsey of Crafting for Weeks. Today I'm going to be showing you the drop stitch. So I'm going to be using a 6.5mm hook for the stitches and a 15mm hook for the drops. I'm starting with a row of single crochets. Just use any number. I'm using an even number. I'm going to chain and stretch out that loop. Then I'm going to use the end of my crochet hook. You could use a large knitting needle here or a dowel, really anything that you can easily slide this along. So this first loop is going to count as your first stitch, so we're going to move on to our second stitch. I'm going to insert the hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Then we're going to chain one, and then we're going to stretch that loop out and place it on the hook. You're going to gently tighten it just enough so that it can still slide, and then you're going to move on to your next stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop, and then you're going to chain one and pull that loop up and over your hook or dowel. It can be a little awkward at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll start moving right along. Okay, so I'm going to do one more stitch and then I will skip ahead and show you what to do when you turn. So yarn over and pull up that loop, and then you're going to chain one, extend the loop, and put it over the edge of your hook. Okay, so I'm going to move on and show you what to do when you get to the other side. Okay, so once you get to the other end, you're going to slide all of your loops off of your hook. You're going to want to be careful with that first loop because it can be pulled out. So you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop there and then chain one. And in that same loop, you're going to work one single crochet or whatever stitch you're doing between your drops, and then you're going to single crochet across the row, one in each loop. You don't have to worry about the loops coming undone at this point. Every time you do a chain, it locks that previous loop into place. So you can just work across your row, one in each loop, and once you get to the other side, I'll show you a little bit more about the structure of the stitch. Now I use this stitch in the Ocean's Breath wall hanging. I really love the way the drop stitch gives some space between the stitches, and it gives great drape if you're using it for a garment or a shawl. And since it doesn't require a certain number of stitches to work, you can use this in a lot of patterns. It's really versatile. One fun variation that I've seen on this stitch is to actually group the drops together. So you might take two of the drop stitches and crochet two single crochets into that space. And what it does is it creates a twisting effect of the stitches, and it just gives a different shape and dimension to the drop stitch. Okay, so as we're getting here to the end of the row, what's going to happen is you're going to chain and turn and continue working either a row of single crochets or another row of drop stitches. But what I'm going to do is actually stop and kind of show you what the stitch looks like a little bit closer. Okay, so the drops are going to vary in size based on whatever tool you're working around, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so let's take a closer look. If you're a right-handed crocheter, you probably noticed that we did not start on the right-hand side. This stitch is a little interesting. We work from left to right. So what this does is it creates these little loops in the front of your stitches. If you were to work it from right to left, the loops would actually be on the back side of your work. So if you were working it this direction and putting your loops on the other way, you would actually have these little V's, and you're going to see those V's at the base of the stitches. This is really just a cosmetic difference. Most people prefer the loops in the front, so to do that you're going to work from the left to the right. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and you can find more from me at craftingforweeks.com.